Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go through some basic knots and setup for the beginner angler. And actually this setup, the Carolina sinker setup or the fish finder setup, is a very effective way to catch fish even for the advanced angler. But for those who are interested, you've talked to me personally, you've seen me fishing or on the beach, I'm making this video just for you, and if you're on YouTube and you happen to find it, great, welcome to my channel. We're gonna talk about all things fishing on this channel here. So let's get started. Okay, before I show you the Carolina rig, or also similar to the fish finder setup, you're gonna have to check with your local fishing requirements and regulations to see if you're using the proper hooks to avoid possible fines or getting in trouble with the Wildlife Commission. So this hook here on the left is a inline circle hook. This is a offset circle hook. One way to know for sure is that just lay it on something flat and the inline is flush with the table. Whereas this one, you can see that it's coming up just a slightly bit. The way that I like to do or check and looking at it and seeing if there is an offset or not. So with this hook, there is no offset. It's offset a little bit and it's bent to the right. So these hooks, when the fish is hooked, makes it more difficult to unhook. So these are very effective in terms of setting the hook and then landing the fish. However, certain species are protected like sharks and also red snapper, and the regulations want it to be inline so that it basically is easier to remove the hook, avoid serious injury to the fish if they swallow the hook. And so keep in mind that depending on what species you're targeting, you're gonna have to use either the inline hook, or most often I'm using the offset because I'm going for species that I can use that type of hook. Okay, so we have our hooks, but the most important thing to set up is the main line. And for the main line, you're gonna need basically an egg sinker. It has a hole in it where you can actually put the fishing line. You want to use a 1 ounce to 2 ounce sinker, but if days that are more rough and there's high waves and wind, you may have to use a heavier sinker. You'll need a bead that will protect your knot from the actual sinker, and that will be connected to a snap swivel where there's a swivel attached to a snap. Now this purpose here is that your main line stays intact, so when you change out your hooks, it's easier. And if you have to change hooks or change your setup or even want to use something else, this makes changing out your hooks much easier. You don't have to have a snap swivel, you can just use a barrel swivel, but my recommendation is to using a snap swivel so that you can change these things out. Typically the line that I like to use here in this area where I'm fishing is about a 20 to 30 pound test main line, and then probably a 20-pound monofilament leader from the snap swivel to the hook. So the main line is going to have 30-pound test. You're going to stick it through the egg sinker. The next thing is the bead. And then you're going to tie it to the swivel. The knot that I like to use is the improved clinch knot. So with the left hand or with your right hand, just reverse this video. I'm right-handed, so in my left hand, I'm gonna pinch the fishing line over the snap swivel. I'll have the video flip for those who are left-handed so that they can actually follow my motions. So for the improved clinch knot, you wanna go just twist this line around the main line about 5 times. And then what you want to do is when you want to feed the line through the loop below, there's a loop now that forms above, see? So I fed through the loop below, and then now there's a loop above. So I want to feed the line through the loop above like this. So then it looks like this. At this point, what you want to do is wet it. You can wet it with water, ocean water, saliva, or whatever you want, and that way you can cinch it down easily and very tight, okay? So I'm gonna cinch it down, and then use these 2 fingers and push the knot down to be above the swivel. Pull this other end here. And then test it. It's very strong. And for those of you who don't know, I'm an eye surgeon, so I tie a lot of knots. So fishing knots are basically secondhand in nature, because when I use like monofilament suture in a patient, there's ways to tie it so that it doesn't slip. Otherwise, the wound will come apart, and that's called dehiscence, and you don't want that. But here, very strong, and then you just want to clip off that end, like that there. And there you have it. Okay, so that's that part. So what this looks like is that you have your sinker here, you can move back and forth. It has a bead here to protect the knot. So as the sinker falls down, it actually protects the knot and keeps it nice and strong. When you cast it out, the sinker falls, and then your live bait on here, or whatever bait you're using, can actually float and swim and be free. So it looks like it's actually unimpeded for the predator fish. So this setup is extremely nice, and it's highly effective for the fish that you'll find here in Pensacola Bay. So I use the same knot, clinch knot, to tie the hook to a clear monofilament at around 20 pounds test. For the sake of time, I've already set this up. So here is a barrel swivel connected to a 20-pound monofilament test. So you want it 2 to 3 feet away from your hardware over here. And then the hook is also tied via a clinch knot. I was fishing yesterday with this, so it's kind of has some crud on it, but it's the same knot that you have here set up on your main line. And then when you're ready to go fish, you just undo the snap swivel, snap it. So your whole setup is egg sinker, bead, improved clinch knot tied to a snap swivel, then to another swivel to an advanced or improved clinch knot, 20-pound monofilament leader, that's 2 to 3 feet, attached to a circle hook, offset circle hook, with the improved clinch knot. So I like the ability to remove the leader and the hook from the rest of the setup, so that's easy to store in a tackle box. What I do is just wind it up, and then using this line, I'll just kind of weave it around the leader, and that stays as a nice circle in the tackle box. So you can reuse that hook until it becomes rusty and no longer sharp, and then you can change out hooks, and that will save you the hassle of buying new hooks all the time. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed my video, please remember to like, share, and comment, and also put something in the comment, questions, or suggestions for future video. Thank you very much. Have a great day.